Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truskovitz. What do you think of her?
I haven't seen Agnes. Is she pretty?
Pretty doesn't do her justice. She's a beauty. But she's got such a sharp tongue on her that I don't envy older at all. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truskovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truskovitz tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Farewell.
Good to see you. Good day, sir.
What do you have for sale?
Nothing to your liking, sir.
Greetings, my friend.
I'll have a look at the wares. I'd like to discuss the price.
Very well. You'll convince me with that price. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir. What are you here for, friend?
Excuse me. I'm looking for someone. A friend of mine. The one who ended up in the pillory with me.
Loads of people have been in the pillory, and you know what it's like. I'm really busy right now.
You haven't seen him then? Tall, fair-haired, fancies himself and talks like a noble.
Sorry, but I'm swamped with work because of the Semine wedding. Everyone wants new clothes from me. Even Bashka the butcher ordered a jacket fit for a king, and he isn't even going to the wedding. So no, I haven't seen your friend and I can't help you. Sorry.
Seid gegrüßt. Was willst du?
Show me your wares. I'd like to do something about that price.
Was soll's? Warum nicht?
Here, plus a bit on top.
Wunderbar. Dankeschön. Danke. Das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
What would you like, sir?
I'll have a look at your wares.
Nothing to your liking, sir?
Pour me one.
I apologize. Greetings.
Do you know anything about the devil?
Mother of God! Such blasphemy!
Aye, but he drools all over.
I hear something happened to the Hermit.
Forget about him. He's in a bad way, sick, they say.
I hear Ambrose the Hermit has some old sword.
A few folks saw it at his place some years ago, but then it disappeared. Maybe he sold it. Or chucked it out.
I'd like to ask about that diabolical apparition.
And what's that got to do with me? Let's be on your way. It was good to see you, my friend.
Well, that's nice.
Greetings. Good day.
Good afternoon.
Same to you. I apologize.
It's like I'm invisible or something.
I heard they're going to cut down the old oak at the crossroads.
Oh no. Why? A lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're passing by in the summer. The only bit of shade, far and wide.
That's just it. Some noble was resting on... Not for shade, but because it was...
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat.
I said I'm sorry.
But the Cumans are still stinking up the place. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the Hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the Hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't speak to nobody. He hides away in his hut and sends everyone away. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you, because this reeks of hell.
There's something else I need to know about this hermit.
Ask then if you must.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia, along the path below the rocks, till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill to the left, leading into the rocks.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the Butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
What's the latest news, innkeeper?
Siegfried, the herds boy, dropped by. He was moaning about wolves killing his sheep. Poor fella, he has it tough. And have you heard about the Divozhenka of Semaine?
What Divozhenka?
You haven't seen one yet? A Divozhenka is a wild woman of the forest. An ugly, disfigured creature. You can find them deep in the woods or caves, where they make their ointments and gather magic herbs. Sometimes they hurt people, sometimes they help them. You shouldn't go there.
Why not?
The Samine lot did that. They were worried she might put young Lord Samine under a spell, especially now, because of the wedding. So they took care of her. And that's about it, I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
Thanks.
You silly mutt.
Ale!
What do you want?
I heard a shepherd saw an apparition in the rocks.
It's not wise to go there. There's a diabolical horseman haunting the place.
What do you know about the apparition at the cross?
It's all God's holy truth. Gerda from the apothecaries saw the devil there. Farewell. You're always welcome here, good sir. Good doggy. Good boy. My respects.
Paqueta.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
Wait, Gerda. I didn't come to mock you. On the contrary, I want to help you.
Really?
I believe you really did see something. but I want to know what it really was.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tachov. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound, and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field. Proper flying along it was, like the devil, and heading straight to Apollonia.
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fellow killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle?
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's going to make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
Riesen sei der Herr.
What happened to the hermit from Apollonia?
He's been acting strange the last few days. Don't bother going there.
I hear Ambrose the hermit has some old sword.
Aye, he used to have it hanging on the wall in his hut, but then he took it down. He might have sold it.
I hear the devil was seen here.
God above. Give over with that. Was wünschst du?
What do you know about the apparition at the cross?
Better ask Gerda at the apothecary's. She's the one what saw it with her own eyes.
I heard that Stanislav saw an apparition at the rocks. Is that true?
Aye. There's been strange goings-on there last few days.
What do you have for sale?
Nothing to your liking, sir?
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret.
Good man, hold on.
What's going on?
Do you have any coin to spare?
Tell me, how come you're begging? What happened to you?
Allow me to disabuse you of your misconception. I am no beggar. I simply find myself in a bind compelling me to rely on the kindness of good people.
So, you're begging?
But I'm not a beggar.
Why are you asking for charity? Fancy an ale, eh? The amount you're looking for, it sounds like you plan on downing a whole keg.
That wouldn't go amiss, but really, I need the coin so I can travel to Vlashim.
That's quite a way.
I've always found it to be a day or two's ride.
But I don't see any horse.
I don't have one. That is true. I'll join a caravan, ride along, pay for my way, my provisions and such.
Begging, but not a beggar, and he needs money to get to Vlashim. Oh, I've come across a fair few beggars before, but none have ever said that to me.
Must be a coincidence?
Look, you can tell me what's going on here.
I can't. You're prying way too much as it is.
I'm not going to do you any harm. What would I get out of that? If you're some sort of thief, so be it. Do I look like a catchpole hunting down criminals? That's the last thing I need. If you tell me what's going on, maybe I can be of help.
My name is Odolin von Wottitz. My father is Albert von Wottitz.
So you're a nobleman?
That I am.
What really happened?
I escaped from prison.
Why were you in prison?
I was a hostage. My father fell out with a couple of noblemen from the League of Lords. This rankled them, so they ambushed me one day as I was running errands for my father. Then everything happened so fast. They detained me and sent my father a message. If your son's life matters to you, you won't make any trouble. He had no choice but to do what they said. These are tough times, eh?
How did you escape?
Well, I gradually figured out who was guarding me and when. One of the guards used to come into my chamber and talk to me from time to time.
You had a chamber? No dungeon?
No. You don't keep a nobleman detained like a murderer, waiting for the news. I had a room where I was guarded.
All right. Carry on.
Well, I steadily worked on that guard. Once he was convinced I wasn't going to escape, he stopped being so attentive and I managed to pinch his key. Then I just snuck out that night, and that was it.
Sounds like you got pretty lucky.
Lucky or not, I had no wish to spend another moment in that chamber.
How long were you held?
A year? Perhaps a year and a half? Yes, that seems about right.
What are you going to do now?
My priority is to get back home to my family and discuss it with them. And I need to move fast before anything goes wrong.
I can spare you a few coins. It's a lot more than I normally give, I have to say.
Thank you so much. May the Lord repay your kindness.
Do you know what? No one should forcibly be kept away from their family. And certainly not on account of some lordly quarrel. Take more. Here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Farewell. I hope you make it home safely.
Thanks.
My respects.
I hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or old Croper?
No. I want to go to Apollonia to see Ambrose, the Hermit. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know what you saw that night.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
I know how to deal with evil spirits. I know a spell. Want to learn it?
Of course!
Say after me. Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana. Remember that. You just have to say it, and you'll drive away the devil.
My God, what a spell! It's clear you know your stuff. What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia. His eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the Hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that? That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the Hermit helps people though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. And that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. God be with you, good sir.
God! Whoa! The Conciliatory Cross. A memorial to the unfortunate death of that young man. But I'm more interested in what secrets it conceals now. Fresh soil. Someone was digging here recently. It doesn't look like an apparition, Gerda. He didn't take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief. It must be something else he was after.
Look what I have for you.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
Oh, you mutt.
Hermit!
Agnes will get a nice dowry on top of it.
I've heard you got a new addition to the family. Is it a boy or a girl?
A bear cub?
A bear cub.
Nah, it's a girl. But she came out all hairy, like a black lamb.
That can happen. My younger brother was as hairy as Esau when he was born, but the baby will grow out of it soon enough.
I hope so. But at the christening, it'll look like we brought a puppy to church.
Better than having your baby shit.
Good evening. Do you need something?
Show me your wares.
Pain around his neck. Can you believe it?
Someone bumped him off and didn't even rob him.
That is strange. Something devilish was involved. You don't see something like that every day.
Sit. Stay.
Thanks, you madman!
fucking job.
God bless you.
Mutt!
Good doggy. Good boy.
Got your head in the clouds again, haven't you?
That's because I love him. There's no one in the world as beautiful as him.
That's blasphemy. You'll end up in hell.
A love as pure as mine can't be a sin. It's a gift from
Greetings.
God himself.
What are you on about? It's just a painting on the wall.
He always looks at me when I walk into the church. Nobody's ever looked at me like that before.
That's just the way it's painted. You feel like he's looking at you, but it's nothing but paint on plaster, nothing more.
You're only saying that because you don't have anyone.
Were you at the last mass? I didn't see you there. Just as well. I fell asleep during the sermon.
I'm not surprised. The sermons have been awful.
God
lately.
be with you.
If I hear about the woman with 10 silver coins one more time, I'll scream.
Maybe we could sneak some wine in next time.
That would make it more bearable. Or just say sod it and not go.
What are you talking about? You want to go to hell?
Hell or never-ending, boring mass. What's the difference?
Greetings.
Almost done.
How can I help you today, friend?
What do you have for sale? Word about the price.
Very well. You'll convince me with that price. Thank you, sir, and come again.
God bless you, pilgrim. It's never too late for a good deal.
My name is Henry. Where are you travelling from, peddler?
I wouldn't call it travelling. More like fucking fleeing. Barely made it with the shirts on our backs. Oh, by the by, folks call me Mikula.
That sounds like a Hungarian raid. Was it?
How do I know who the fuck it was? One morning I see smoke billowing from the village over the hill. I wasn't going to hang around, so I grabbed Grandad, my wife and daughter, and we took off.
What about your lord? Didn't his people help you?
Our gracious lord has been in captivity somewhere in Saxony for over a year now. And who knows? Maybe it's his envious relatives involved in that nasty business. Yeah, they just don't give a shit about ordinary folk.
What do you do for a living, Mikula?
I'm a hard-working craftsman. I make candles and the best soap in the land.
The best soap?
Indeed. Do you know why, lad? Because I have a family recipe. 100 years old it is. The secret is 7 herbs from all the seasons of the year.
Are you yanking my pizzle? Who ever heard of herbs in winter?
And that, my friend, is precisely the secret. And with wares such as those, I can ply my trade anywhere. Ha ha!
If you have anything for sale, Mikula, I'd be happy to take a look.
That's what I like to hear. Take your pick. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Whoa! That looks like a map. Carved into the rock, but I've been there already. It was in the rocks behind Trotsky.
Me lad, that's...
horse. What's it doing here in the woods? I should take a closer look. A beautiful horse. Black as charcoal. The herds boy wasn't lying. And you don't smell of brimstone. You're just an ordinary horse. Someone really did come to see the hermit. But it wasn't the devil. This is the place the innkeeper was talking about. The hermit lives somewhere up here. Come here. Look what I have for you. Mutt! Mutt! You're my doggy, eh? Here you go. Take it. Stay. God be with you, Hermit.
I don't have time for you. Go away.
Folk in the village are saying you've made a miraculous recovery. And since then, you won't let anyone near you. What happened?
Nothing happened. I just can't stand all these people coming here and disturbing me. Can't I have a moment's peace?
Judging by what I've heard about you, you're a bit fishy, Hermit.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of talk about you in the village. They say you've made a pact with the devil, and are summoning demons from hell.
Old wives' tales. What do I care about such nonsense?
Well, but supposing it isn't nonsense.
Of course it is.
The apparition was seen by the conciliatory cross at night.
Old wives' tales.
I went to take a look, and it really is askew. But it wasn't magic that Hellspawn was wielding. It was a shovel. There was a hiding place beneath the cross. And the man digging there at night didn't have time to put the cross back in the right position.
By all the saints! So someone was digging there. What has that to do with me?
There was a brand new cloak of the Knights of the Cross in the hiding place. It's clear that the man doing the digging hid it there, maybe to cover up who he really is. And what he's planning.
I still don't know what you want from me. What have I got to do with some cloak?
The man who took things from the hiding place can't have been some chance thief, because he left a purse full of coin there.
So keep the groschen, lad, and stop pestering me. It's nothing to do with me.
I found some pretty interesting documents of the Order.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I reckon you do, Ambrose. According to one of the documents, you were appointed Seneschal of the Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Or are you going to tell me it was some other Ambrose?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know anything about any documents.
A few nights ago, a herdsboy saw a black horseman ride into Apollonia. He thought it was an apparition, but I think a demon would have known the road to Apollonia and wouldn't have spun round and round at the crossroads like a top.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I found a black horse stabled in a pen here, in the woods below the rocks. A well-fed, healthy horse, black as charcoal. The man who rode on it wasn't an apparition, or the devil.
Why are you telling me all this? For God's sake! Stop this nonsense right now.
That's enough. I think there are enough fishy things going on around you for me to tell the bailiff, but you're in luck. All I'm after is that broken sword. So, come clean.
You're wide of the mark. But in the end, maybe you could help me.
What do you want help with, Ambrose?
I'm not Ambrose. He died some time ago. I am Conrad, Knight of the Cross with the Red Star.
What are you doing in the Hermit's hut, then?
In Prague, I got into a serious dispute. Ambrose was the only person who could help me. That's why I came to see him.
I'm guessing that the diabolical horseman scaring people round these parts was you.
That was not my intention, believe me.
Ambrose is dead, you say? How did it happen?
He was an old man. Unfortunately, he was already at death's door when I found him.
And you had nothing to do with his death?
Of course not. Ambrose was my friend. I'd known him for 20 years. He was a good member of the Order, and an outstanding teacher.
Ambrose was a member of your order?
More than a member. He was the Seneschal, second in rank only to the Grand Master. He served the Order for many years before getting into a dispute with the Prague chapter and the Inquisition. Then he had to disappear. I was the only one to know where to look for him. But I came too late. All he managed to tell me was his last wish.
You scared the life out of Gerda from Troskovitz that night. What were you doing there?
Ambrose had a hiding place beneath the cross where he kept things from his past.
I found some documents there from the Knights of the Cross. But Ambrose clearly wasn't interested in them. So what did he send you to get?
He sensed that death was coming for him. He wanted me to help settle his affairs. And he also longed to hold his old sword in his hands one last time. I went to his hiding place that very night. But by the time I got back, Ambrose was dead. I put the blade on his grave in place of a cross.
So the sword is on Ambrose's grave. Will you tell me where I can find it?
You want to disturb his rest?
I just want the sword, that's all. It's no use to him now.
All right. I'll tell you where his grave is if you fulfill Ambrose's last wish instead of me. I can't do it.
All right. What am I supposed to do?
Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Greetings.
Good day, sir.
What do you have for sale?
Nothing to your liking, sir. What would you like?
Well, did you get it sorted out?
Hopefully. But it cost me all the money my pa left me. I even had to sell the ring from my mother-in-law. But I'm telling you, if he runs up any more debts, I don't know what I'll do. This was the third time.
Go and see the priest and ask him to talk to you.
Oh, please. The priest gambles with them. What? You bet he does. His housekeeper told me he's got a brooch at home I lost a month ago. How did it end up there?
God give you health, sir. What'll it be this fine morning?
I'll have a look at the wares. Let's talk about the price.
Very well. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir. Fucking shavings.
Good people, gather round. You won't believe this. A whole village burnt to the ground. Hell on earth. Just a few days' walk from here. You have to hear this. They say, without warning, attacked by human troops. In one afternoon, they burned down the whole village, killed all the villagers, and drove the local lord out of his own castle. You see what that ginger
My humble respects. What would you like?
Show me your wares. Let's talk about the price.
Very well. Finally, a reasonable sum. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
My humble respects.
Good day. What would you like?
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God. What is the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad, thank you. But not here. We must go to the graveyard. That's where my curse lies.
Let's go then. There's no time to waste.
Here it is.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me, are you afraid of the dead?
It's the living I'm more afraid of than the dead.
One should fear the dead. But in the end, it's probably a good thing that you have no fear. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now. Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Jan. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Jan didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonourable burial, and it's my fault. I said nothing.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Jan loved me. Only I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection. So he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Jan drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Jan fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Jan's brother.
Did you see it? Were you there?
No, but I believed my Vashek. He would never have lied to me. It pained him till the day he died, and he lived in fear of Jan's brother creeping up behind him one day and taking his revenge. In the end, that fear ate him up from inside.
Why didn't Ambrose avenge his brother Jan's death? He must have realized that you two were involved in it.
He went away to Prague and joined an order of knights. He didn't want revenge, most likely. He let us live in peace.
But then he came back and became a hermit in Apollonia. It never occurred to you that it was him?
No. His name was Adam before, but he changed it to Ambrose. Besides, he got old. And I don't go to the cliffs much.
Ah, the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition. That's to commemorate Jan.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Jan's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Jan didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Jan's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation.
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary. And Mary said, Behold.
I'll need to get a spade first.
Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Hail Mary. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts.
Amen.
God bless. How can I help you today, friend?
Show me your wares.
Nothing to your liking, sir.
Ja! Ja! Ja!
Hans! Hans! It's me!
Whoa!
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit.
Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. Rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen.
God in heaven, grant poor Jan eternal salvation. So many years in unconsecrated ground, and I blamed myself. Thank you. May God reward you, lad. I'd given up all hope.
I understand. A sin like that is a hard cross to bear.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry.
Heal!